Breaking news! We made it out the group chat.
I meet the Sixers, not your average niggas. We get money, bitch, that can fit. 600 chain when this swing, this bitch glitch.
No, it's crazy. I have the actual file for that, and instead of playing it in here, now that I have an editing program, I could take what this edits and just put the intro in front of it.
That sounds like an episode 9 problem or whatever.
Episode 10 problem type
that sounds
shit.
like an episode
Whatever. Welcome back, niggas. This is crazy intro, unconventional intro.
We're good.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in. I am your host with the most, Kai, and we got
LA,
my co-host, LA. You know what I'm saying. So today we have some things that we got to get into sports wise. I know last podcast at the beginning of it, I definitely said it was gonna be a sportscast, and it was not. But today is changing. Today will indeed be a sportscast. But once again, I do want to thank everybody who clicks on these videos and watches them. We appreciate y'all so much. But LA, if you want to get right into them.
Before getting right into that, I do think we need to bring up the fact that the Chiefs traded for
D-Hop.
For D-Hop today. It was reported that was their second option. They went for Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I know. They couldn't get him.
They couldn't get a deal. I think there was also Devin White got signed.
Devin White got signed to the Texans.
And then a player from Tennessee got traded. I can't remember.
Yeah, what's crazy? I know who it was. It was Ernest Jones.
Yeah, it was Ernest Jones.
The previous linebacker for the Rams. And he got traded to the Seahawks 1 week of us playing the Seahawks.
Jerome Baker. It was a swap for those two. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was the trace today.
So on some realness, are y'all really gonna trade Cooper Kupp? Because I think the trade deadline is over next.
The trade deadline is next week, I believe.
It's next week.
Now, funny you say this, because me and Pops was talking about it this morning. There is a true possibility that Cooper Kupp is gone. And as people know, I am a Rams fan, so Cooper Kupp being traded would hurt, because it's Cooper Kupp. Like, come on, bro. He's one of my favorite wide receivers, one of the best wide receivers to me, but it's biased. But more so what we were saying was there is a possibility that we do trade him because we have Jordan Whittington and Puka. Jordan Whittington's like a poor man's Cooper, but he's a rookie. So it's like he can develop. And then you also have Puka Nacua, who last year showed that he can be a number one with Cooper being out for, I believe, half the season. Cooper, I think, played 11 games last year, and the year before that he played 9. So it's like there is a true possibility that we give up Cooper because he has not played a full season in a while, and we just have younger pieces that could kind of take over the spot, with it being like Tutu Atwell, Jordan Whittington, Puka. That really is our main 3 if we do get rid of Cooper. Now, me as a Rams fan, I would hope we don't, because I don't want to see him out anywhere else cooking people, but real possibility.
So obviously, since he wasn't traded to Kansas City, what would y'all want? What would you want back if you had to give up Cooper Kupp? What do you want back?
I believe people were saying that the Rams are looking for a second.
A second round pick?
Yeah. We're looking for a second just because he's still getting good yardage a game. Like, he was getting like 100 and something last time he was healthy without Puka being out there. So it's like he still puts up top receiver numbers in my eyes. If it was me though, I want linebackers, because our linebackers are not very good. They're very slow. Our run stopping ability on the defense is really bad. And it's ridiculous, to say the least.
So with that, I asked because I think D-Hop went for what, a 5th and a 6th?
Yeah, D-Hop went for like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah. So if he went for a 5th and a 6th, does that mean standing right now that Cooper has more value than D-Hop? Because I personally,
I
I
believe
think
so.
D-Hop still like he has some type of knee injury. I think
Yes, I
something
believe
got messed up
that
and
is
he just
so.
played through it. But well, I don't know the injury if Cooper was coming off of an injury.
I believe it is a like a hamstring or like a thigh thing, but let me see because I read it the other day
I was
because
saying
he's back to he's off IR and I believe he's playing on Thursday when we play the Vikings.
it from what I have been
It was
seeing,
his ankle.
a lot of landing spots that have been theorized or talked about has been the Buccaneers because they're going to be out there's two of their starting receivers.
Yeah, Mike and Chris are hurt.
Of course, everyone's going to throw Baltimore in it because they want Lamar to play with a number one, but I
I
don't
think Coop
see
would be
that.
okay in the Ravens, but I don't think the Ravens are going to give up a second. If they didn't go out and get Devontae, I highly doubt they'll go out and get Cooper.
Well, is one of the things, and obviously, I do think that if you add Cooper Cup to the Ravens receiving core, Jesus Christ, that's scary. But I feel like if
Very.
you look at it, it's like Zay Flowers is great right now. Rashad
Yeah,
Bateman is finally becoming the player that Baltimore wanted to see him become. You
for
have
sure.
two tight ends. Isaiah Likely is basically like a big ass receiver.
Hmm.
Mark Andrews is still one of the top tight ends in the league, even if his numbers
Still top.
don't
Last week he
necessarily
showed that
show it.
because he
I was
was
he cooked
open a
last week.
lot.
So I think it's one of the things like, are you hindering the team or are you making it better or just adding in a piece that will just muck up what you already have?
Yeah,
And I'm looking for teams that are saying like, oh, like Tampa makes sense. You're not gonna have Mike Evans. You're not gonna have we don't know the extent of Mike Evans' injury because they haven't confirmed it yet. I
yeah,
think
but
they
I
said
know
Chris Godwin's
Chris
done.
is Chris is out. He's
Yeah, they
out.
said
I
he's on.
think he said he might retire. He when he
Damn,
was on
I
the cart when he was on the cart, he was saying my career's over, kind of thing. Like he was ready to call it quits after that.
want to say you're down your second best receiver and you're still competing for playoffs. Like the
Right,
Buck,
because
like
that
yeah, they
division
lost,
is not very
but
good.
just the NFC in general is extremely top heavy. And what I mean by that is just it's Detroit. Detroit looks like the number one team. They
Detroit
look
looks
like
deadly.
they
If Minnesota had like a genuine quarterback that we weren't questioning, like, oh, is Sam Darnold really like that? Like, let's say they had, I hate to say this because this was also in the rumor mill.
it
Say
was
they had
also
Matthew Stafford. Um, I think they're the number one in the NFC because they're as deadly as Amon Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams and Jameer Gibb and David Montgomery are. It's Jay Jettas, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones, TJ Hawkinson, like that. The Vikings could definitely give the Lions a run for their money if they had a for sure quarterback.
and they did. They didn't lose by a lot. Like it was, from what I seen, it was a pretty back and forth game where like there was really no separation. Both sides of the ball made plays, but
Yeah.
obviously on one end you had a I don't want to say credible because it's really not fair to Sam Donald, but you have a
Yeah.
proven quarterback, a sense. He been to a Super Bowl. Can't really
Right.
take that away from him. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been on top tier offenses. Sam Darnold kind of has just been. He played for the Jets, so I don't
I
like
was
how
gonna say he
he
played
played
for
for
the
the Jets.
Jets, and
And
it's
whenever he
really
went,
hard
he was
to.
never given a true chance to start after that. And now we're seeing like if you
They
give,
dang near had the same game. If you're looking at the
yeah,
stats here, Jared was 22 for 25 with 280, and Sam was 22 for 27 with 260 or 259. But he threw a pick. He had one pick. Jared had no picks, two touchdowns. Sam had a pick and a touchdown. So
it's just one of the things. But it's like I can see Cooper makes the most sense going to Tampa. In the
yeah,
AFC, I don't really see where you could send him in the AFC.
it's
It makes sense
it's
to send
hard
him
for
in
the
the AFC.
AFC because the AFC is an arms race. And when
Everybody
you
got
really
weapons.
look at the right, everybody has weapons, and if you're going to go out and get a weapon, it needs to be a like they're picking up the playbook, no problem, coming in, making immediate plays, and you're winning games. Do I think Cooper Cup can do that? 100%, 100%. But is there a team that needs a route running receiver and not like a top taker offer? In the sense, because I
Chargers,
can't
maybe?
really, but I don't think the Chargers are like competing for anything. So if I'm being honest, why
They're not.
trade for receiver who's aging?
I was
Um,
I that's like I feel like the only teams like he will fit in perfect with what San Francisco, but
that's
they're
not
not.
happening.
That's it's not happening
We
because
know for sure that's not happening.
it's not happening.
But
That's the
yeah,
problem. It's
Zach
like the team that he would fit best
Debo
with is not possible.
and
They're not making
yeah,
that trade.
yeah, that trade's not happening unless we're getting like Fred Warner. That's the type of like anger that the Rams would do. They'd be like, "You can have him for Fred."
So it's one of those
That's
things
it.
where it's like, hey, if you're trading Cooper Cup, you're not trading him to the fucking 49ers. You're not doing that.
Nah, not happening.
I don't think Tampa, unless you're giving up picks, Tampa probably doesn't have a good
I don't think there's any.
all for him.
Of course, I'm not a GM, but in terms of like things we could get from Tampa, I would say the best thing that we could get would probably cripple Tampa, and that is
That's the
Levante David.
thing. Do
And
you
I
give
don't
like
think Tampa is willing to cripple the defense to make their offense playable. Because even with Cooper Cup, you still may not have a good enough team out there with Baker, Cooper. Mike Evans is hurt for a couple weeks, but then you have Rashad White, I believe, at running back, who
Mhm.
he's not bad. He's not bad by any extent.
he's a
But
starter, but if you move him
do
to like a
you
different team with
trade
better
Levante
player,
David for
I don't think
that
you
bit of
can do.
offensive production?
It's one of those things where it's like if you had, because I think we could all say that the Buccaneers offense was good.
Yeah,
I don't think it
yeah,
was
for sure.
great. I think it was above average. Losing both those weapons dropped you to a really bad offense. Obviously,
Yes, 100%.
do you give up having a good defense to drop it to an average defense to have an average offense? I don't think you should do that.
Nah,
If you're sacrificing too much on one side, then you shouldn't do it for the other. Like it just doesn't work. And
right. And I think that's more
Cooper's going to stay
so,
because I don't know
yeah,
unless
why
you're
me and
fucking
my dad were like, Cooper's gonna stay
he's going to have to
because
stay.
every place that he could get traded to, it's like, A, what would the Rams want? And B, is the team that's giving it up willing to cripple a side of the ball or give up a higher pick? Because I know Les Need, the GM of the Rams, is like, we want a second for Cooper if we're letting him go.
I don't know. I felt we're going to get a lot more trades in the coming
Oh, for sure. And in the
days.
coming week, I think here we'll see a lot of trades. People trying to make moves to solidify teams who are selling. Like they're doing bad. They'll definitely look to offload players. I'm pretty sure.
No, have to. But in the spirit
Like the
of
Saints and Marshall Lattimore.
oh, they're not trading Marshawn Lattimore.
I think they will because they know their season is at a turning point.
If the season gets that bad, and it's one of those things because I saw the cap space for next year. They're negative 81
It's
million in the
bad.
hole.
It's bad. So
I
they have to
don't
start
know
moving
how
people.
they signed anybody. I don't know how the fuck they got
I
Chase
don't
Young.
know how they got Chase Young. I think Chase is on a 1 year deal though. So I think
Even with
Chase is
that
back
though,
in free
it's
agency
like
after this.
they're you gotta move on from players, but
Right.
that's a whole. I don't want to
Whole
get
nother conversation.
that's
Whole
too much
nother
math.
conversation.
But in the spirit of basically we're in the sports time period now of the year where everybody's boyfriend and husband are glued to the TV now because we have football, basketball season just
Yep.
started. Shout
Baseball
out
finals
Bronny.
is going right now.
Yeah, it's going on. I like to bring up hot takes that I have found. I went searching TikTok, Reddit.
It's his hot takes, y'all, not mine. I don't know about
No.
these.
Let's not say it's my hot take. What I did was I went through, I searched up hot takes, whatever, sports opinions. Whatever I found that was like, oh wow, that kind of makes sense, or like you're off your rockers with this one.
Yeah.
I put that. So
Okay.
the first one is that playoff stats should count for all stats in
No.
terms of the idea of like there shouldn't be regular season and there shouldn't be postseason stats.
I disagree. And
Or
the
do you
reason I
disagree?
disagree is because is this what sport is this for, or is it for every sport?
The playoff stat one was for basketball that
For
I saw.
basketball. Okay, so what I was about to say don't make sense to why I disagree with it. For basketball, I don't know because you get a lot of well, hypothetically, let's say they did count. I think there will be a lot. Is it saying like overall stats for like the season? So like if we're
What
taking, let's say we take a season stat, right, and we're like he's averaged this amount of points, but then we get to the playoffs, he start averaging more, and then we look back on the season at a later date, and we're taking the combined of them both.
this what I had to put notes because I wanted to. They had some of them had good talking points, but for this one, they're saying like the for basketball, they're talking about like with awards also, with the idea that
Okay, I can see that.
for certain players, it's not fair that who did they say? It was somebody like it was like they brought Cam Cunningham. They're like if you look at him play, he should be
Okay,
considered for all NBA teams. But you're never really going to see him play matter because his games aren't televised and he's never going to be in the playoffs. So players like that you just don't see.
right,
And they're saying with stats of like why the records like why the stats should count is that some certain players just don't play at all in the playoffs. So they just don't
right,
have stats.
right.
And some players
That's what
play
I was gonna
longer or
disagree.
more and it adds on to the stats. I think you get a little convoluted with it because if you add in LeBron's points and all that shit,
Right, he's gonna probably win MVP every
his
year.
his his numbers like it's essentially the same like the player who goes longer would essentially be the MVP. I am of the notion that I do not think that the best team necessarily has the MVP. I don't believe,
Correct. I don't
to be
believe that.
fair. I think that's unfair to be like certain players will basically break the glass ceiling where they can, but because they play in Indiana or a small market team, they're never going to get that vote.
I
I don't
agree.
think we're ever going to see an MVP win the award and their team's not in the playoffs just because
Facts.
of that stat. And I think that's what they were
Which I actually, which I
trying to
actually believe
avoid.
should be a thing. Even because I think the most valuable player should be the player who's most important to their team.
And say if
So
you take that player off the team, what is
what does
that team
that
without
team
them?
do? And I think a lot of the times we get MVPs like not just bash Jokic or anything, but that Nuggets team is dirty with Jokic, of course. But I think you take Jokic off, they're still a playoff team.
They're still a playoff team. I do not believe that if you take Jokic off that team, they're just like
They
the
die
Charlotte
pretty much. I
Hornets.
don't
Yeah,
think they.
I
Yeah,
don't think they
no.
become the Hornets.
They still got Jamal. They still have Michael Porter Jr. They still have Aaron
Aaron
Gordon.
Gordon, who was a star of his own franchise for 10 plus years, is a
Right. I
very
I
decent
definitely
role
think
player.
they could still be great without Jokic. Now Jokic elevates them amazingly, of course, and won a championship.
Okay,
But
the the next one, and I think this one was for football
okay,
first for position, but it also overlaps with another one. But I'm gonna let that be until the next topic. It was for both sports. The idea of playoff records are not that important in terms of
I
like
agree.
when you look at Lamar and you'd be like, well, he's like 2-7 or some shit in the playoffs. Like giving a player an individual win and lose for the playoffs is kind of isn't
I don't
important
like it.
because it's a team sport.
I
I
was gonna
don't
say
like
that.
it.
I don't like it. It's a team
I'm not a
sport.
fan of it.
I hate when
Um,
people bring up that LeBron's been to the finals. What is it? 11, 10
11
times or
some shit like
something.
that, but he's been to the final.
and
It's hard
and
to still
people
get.
are like, right, it's hard to still get to the finals one, but people are like, oh, his Jordan is 6-0 in the finals. I'm like, but what about all the years Jordan
And
didn't
then
make it to the finals? He played
with
more than
this
6 years.
because someone put like a sub thing to it, and it was for quarterbacks. They said the
Okay,
idea of a quarterback having a win loss record is dumb to bring up an argument because saying like
agree.
Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning in their matchup, blah blah, is stupid because they don't guard each other. They play
Right,
one side of the ball, they never interact. So the
facts.
idea of saying, "Oh, I beat blah blah blah. You can outplay somebody, but I hate the idea of being like you play bad against blah blah blah. I don't play him.
Right. I don't play him. I play his defense.
I play his
I
defense.
play his defense,
And he
and
plays
his
my
defense could be great, and my defense could be trash, and then I'm having a worse game. So I don't like that in the fact like it's cool to look at like stats like that, but I say and to actually like have them hold weight, I don't like.
I said I don't think they should hold weight. This next one to a like 30% degree, I kind of believe it. But this dude said that the quarterback position is overvalued because without every other position, what is the quarterback?
I agree, and we're seeing a very big example of that with Minnesota. As we just said, Sam Darnold is a okay player. He hasn't really gotten a chance, but Sam Darnold was a last minute pickup for Minnesota. He's not their permanent solution. They drafted a quarterback in JJ McCarthy this year. And I would say when you really look at all the quarterbacks getting paid around the league, and we talk about this all the time of T Law getting overpaid. Or just like quarterbacks in general getting overpaid because teams are scared that there is no other quarterback at the time. So now we're paying the person that we have in position money because we're scared of going out and finding another player, aka Daniel Jones and the Giants.
I as a person that played football, that played receiver, I played running back, I played defense, all of that. I have played some really good quarterbacks, and I played some terrible quarterbacks who had the benefit that you were throwing it to a 6'5" dude. You just put it in the air. Wasn't
Facts.
even in the atmosphere sometimes. Like
and the 6'5" dude goes up and makes
he
a
just
play.
goes up and get it. As much as I feel like you can make the argument like, okay, the quarterback makes the players, there's a lot of receivers who make
Who
their
are
quarterback.
carrying their quarterback.
Like, no disrespect to Sam Darnold. I know we keep bringing him up, but I feel like he's no
He's
disrespect.
benefiting from
You're
Jay
throwing that
Jettis,
money. You're
Jordan
throwing it to
Addison.
Jettis. Like
It's a two-sided coin.
another guy who I personally have never been high on, Brock Purdy.
I
You're
agree.
in a
I agree. I've
very,
never
very
been
talented
I've never
offense.
been high on Brock Purdy, and I think
But when
with these
those
coming weeks, we're
when the
gonna
weapons
start to
went
see
away,
Brock's real ability because his weapons, his superstar Avengers level weapons are hurt. They're down. So it's like, and I also think that I feel like that's a two-sided coin. And the reason I say
it
that
is.
is because if you have a really good quarterback, he can make other players around him look a lot better. And for example, let's see. And I hate to say this because I'm biased, but Matthew Stafford. Um, we got Puka from BYU. Nobody knew who the hell Puka was. Puka was the rookie of the year last year,
He almost
getting
won
some
the
of the
Triple
best
Crown.
stats. Right.
He literally was at the
Because
Triple
he was
Crown.
getting it thrown from Matthew Stafford. Like Matthew is a great quarterback. So he's making his players better. And I feel like you just have to take a look at the quarterback and have to have that gauge, like in order to pay him. Like of course I love everybody getting their money, get your bag, bros. Do y'all thing, but some of y'all don't deserve it.
Yeah, like if I was still a running back and I was running for my life, I was keeping us afloat and relevant and leading, jersey sales and everything. And it was time for me to get my paycheck, my new
And y'all pay
contract.
Daniel Jones?
Yeah, I ain't paid Daniel Jones $160 million. I'm like, what are we
And
doing?
y'all let me walk? Nah, it's up
What are
for
we
y'all
doing?
forever. And I agree. I feel wholeheartedly with that. I think it's really just a player by player basis. And some players I'm like, nah, they shouldn't. But some players I'm like, oh yeah, they deserve it.
But this
Like
next
when
one,
we played Jared Goff, I was upset. I was so upset. But everything works out in hindsight.
this next one I absolutely hate because this is the part of the games where I'm like, okay, this is where you learn if you got a dog or not.
Okay.
But he said for the fact that this has decided too many games and it takes away from the star players, special teams should be abolished. I do not like that at all.
I don't like that special teams should be a boss. And with special teams, is he meaning like
He's talking
extra
about.
points?
He means extra points, kickoff, kick return, punt return,
No,
all that. Just
no. I feel
no
like those
special
are.
teams whatsoever.
Speaking of which, and we lost this game actually, and I think it was last year when we played the Ravens. If special teams are abolished, we win because they don't get we punted it when we were up. We gave it back to Lamar and them, and they almost ran that punt back. And then Lamar had amazing field position, scored. They got out of there with the win. But if special team is abolished and we just give them the ball on the 20, who's to say what they do? You know what I'm saying? I feel like special teams brings another element to the game. We can already see the NFL slowly kind of working out the kickoff. As we see every damn with this new addition, you can't really run that whole back unless you're Laviska Shenault. Because Laviska got a kick return this year.
I would love to see Devin Hester like this.
I feel like Devin Hester in
And
this one
nobody
scores way
nobody
more.
gets a running start like
Right.
for me, and I get to hit. Ooh, nah, boy,
You get to
Devin
hit a
Hester
hole.
looks
You
like
literally
this
see
year.
the hole because everybody is lined up in front of each other.
Everybody's lined up, so you can kind of.
Adjust
I'm not really a
accordingly.
fan of like the new kickoff rule. I
Me
think
either.
it's interesting.
But I think we should go back.
Watching some teams being like, you know how some teams just have designated returners, like they only play return.
Yeah.
I just see like the Ravens and dude you just brought up and somebody else. They're putting like running backs back there.
Right, because
You're
if you
basically
can
just
hold
reading
on
a
to the
hole.
ball and you're just reading the
Yeah,
hole
you're damn
for
near just reading a hole. And obviously the Ravens have been getting to like the 40 damn near every kickoff they receive. So I'm like, if at that case, at some point, I mean, if teams are catching up, like honestly, for the love of the game, I'll put Derrick Henry back there one time.
boy. Oh boy. He'll be tired as hell, but that's a touchdown. That's a touchdown.
Hey, bro, he's getting too many big runs, but that boy gets tired,
He
boy.
getting tired, boy. And he was just talking about something he had to work on his speed after
We're gonna
after
stamina.
last week's game. But yeah, I disagree with that take wholeheartedly. I believe special teams should stay in the game.
I know
As
people hate kickers, but like, come
right,
on, bro.
right,
Having a great kicker is literally
changes the game.
like having Justin Tuck and being able, okay, once we pass half field, we're guaranteed points. Come on, dude, you can't beat that.
It's
I'm sorry.
yeah, facts. And as Sketch would say, special teams, special players. And I agree.
This next one, I personally cannot agree with this at all. But Russ is a top 5 point guard all time.
Russell Westbrook?
Russell Westbrook all time. He's top 5.
No.
I don't think you can put him with anybody. I just don't see it.
Okay, so now that we've said that, who's your top 5 point guards?
Top 5? Magic,
IT like short MF IT or
Bad Boy Pistons IT.
Bad
Boy Pistons IT.
Okay.
Not other IT. Bad Boy Pistons IT.
Okay.
Chris Paul, Curry, Jason Kidd.
Okay. I think mine is Magic, Curry, the Big O, Oscar Robertson, IT, and Chris Paul. Of course, you got honorable mentions: J. Kidd, Steve Nash.
I can't.
John
I don't
Stockton,
think I can put Russ above them.
Jerry West.
I consider Jerry West a point guard. I don't consider him a shooting guard.
GP, the glove.
I was a Gary Payton. I don't consider like
I can't give Russ over them. GP's 5th in steals of all time at point guard, 11th in assists, 38th in scoring. And this is back in a time where it was very hard to get hella points. So the fact that he's 5th in steals and 11th in assists, he's really a point guard. He was out there getting rips and getting assists.
I just can't put Russ that high. I just can't.
I think Russ is top 15, but top 5, no.
He's definitely top 15. I can see that. Like you can make the argument for being top 10. I just don't think he's in that top 5. When I think of point guards, I'm thinking of a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
And I do
I'm
like
thinking
Russ
like
is one of
Tony
those.
Parker. Like
Yeah, he's one of those like I'm
I
really a
hate to say it,
two.
I feel like I was gonna say he's like he's out there to score. Really,
Yeah,
he's
I'm
not
really a
really the
two,
playmaking
but
facilitator.
like I can play the one type of thing. But it's
Question, and
Mhm.
I know we got the list that we got to go through, but I do want to hear your take on Mr. Irving, Kyrie. Where would you put Kyrie? Would you put Kyrie above Russ or below Russ?
Kyrie's above Russell Westbrook.
I agree. Okay, I just want to make sure
But
because there's somebody out there, you know who you are, who's related to me, who loves Damian Lillard, and he stays Damian Lillard, and he says Damian is better than Kyrie, and I disagree.
this leads into the perfect next one.
Okay.
Going off of their solo careers, of where they were the star of their team, going off of accolades and team success, John Wall was better than Kyrie Irving.
I agree.
Oh,
And the
I agree
reason
with
I
this
agree,
also.
I feel like when Kyrie was on his own team, and I hate to say it, but Kyrie's a number two. He is one of the greatest number twos, but he is a number two.
They're not even. He didn't even bring up just being number two when Kyrie was in Cleveland by himself. When he was
They
the
didn't do
solo star,
well. I don't even think they made the playoffs.
they never made the playoffs. No,
Right. And then you get LeBron, you win a championship. And then you decide to leave, go to Boston, where you're the solo star or the main star. Again, nothing. You'll do bad. And then you go to Brooklyn, where you and KD, y'all just can't get on the floor at the same time, do bad. But then you go to Dallas, where you have another star to play with you, where you're the number two. And you play well. I think it's just Kyrie can't have, and I hate to say this because I really like Kyrie as a player, but we just have to give it up to facts at a certain point. He's one of the best ball handlers, but you could stop Kyrie and he'd be completely out of a game, kind of thing. And if you're the only star, you're the solo star, you need more. Now, I will say the teams that were surrounded by Kyrie, the Celtics won, unacceptable. But getting Cleveland, who the hell was on that team?
they brought up the same thing with well they try to really downplay like Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal? I was about to say Bradley Beal is an all-star. Let's not hold Bradley. Now I will say John was in the trenches, but I don't know.
They really dogged Bradley Beal, and then I was like, that's not fair. Bradley Beal was a certified
Bucket
getter. I ain't like that. This next one I cannot agree with, and I will consider myself a hater of this player because he was just never for me. But I do think this is crazy to say.
Is it Kevin?
No, it's like no. All time ranking, regardless of anything, Kevin Garnett should kick Kobe out of the top 10.
No. I'm not the biggest Kobe fan.
But Kevin Garnett.
I don't think Kevin Garnett is the one kicking Kobe out of top 10 for sure. No.
I think Kevin Garnett has a real argument for a top
KG a
five
dog for sure.
Forward.
Right, he's a top at his position, but in top all game,
time,
no. I put a lot of people over KG all time.
There's a lot of people over KG.
Yeah, and some may be a little biased, but
and then my thing is like those people that you put above KG have people above them, so it's not even like a
right.
Like for a fact, I got Shaq above KG.
Shaq's up there for sure. Tim Duncan's up there for sure.
There's players in front of Shaq, so it's like you can't be in that. I just don't think that.
Right.
I do think Kevin Garnett.
He's a dog. He was a great player, awesome player.
But top
10. Nah, I can't give it to you, Jordan. Sorry.
Is a stretch.
Swiss cheese. No.
This next one isn't kind of fair because we're not going to see them play for a while, but I do agree with it anyway, is that Paul George and Embiid will flop. They won't be a good team. This dude saying that they won't make it to the playoffs, I
All
think
right,
that's
hold
a
on.
little extreme.
I was about to say,
That's a
as much as
little
I hate
extreme.
Embiid, Embiid has been in the 76ers. Now, they still do have Tyrese Maxey, who I think, even though Embiid and Paul George will flop, I think Maxey will still develop as a great guard.
Oh, he's coming up soon.
Okay. I do think that team will yeah, that team will be good. That team will be good, but I don't think they're gonna beat the Celtics. Not after what we saw yesterday, opening night.
Drug test. No, I don't even know.
Drug test the Celtics.
Drug
Yeah, he
test them.
said
I
it.
don't know,
Drug test
bro.
him. I'm tired of it.
I don't know, tell you, bro.
Especially Jason Tatum. He saw that Steve Kerr didn't play him during the damn Olympics, and that boy is going
I'm
stupid.
not even gonna go off on that tangent because I don't care. He didn't fit with them. He just did it. I'm sorry.
No, I
Dog,
agree.
Celtics
I
fans.
agree.
I'm sorry.
But it's
We're in
like,
the
you know
finals.
what I'm saying? It's bulletin board material for Jason Tatum to then do better because he didn't play a lot with the Olympic team.
You didn't fit. I don't care. And I'm of this notion of with the next one. This dude said, because I agree with 100%, it was never Jason Tatum's team. It has always been
I agree.
Jaylen Brown's team.
It's
He's always
Jalen
been the
Brown's
better.
team. Yeah, he's the better player. As much as we make jokes about Jalen Brown not being able to go to his left hand, without that damn left hand, that boy is cold. That boy is cold.
Without that left hand, nigga won Finals MVP.
Right, that boy is cold. It is his team.
Sorry.
He's putting him on their back.
Sorry. I made jokes on him too. I'm a Heat fan. I hate the Celtics, but hey.
It's Jay Brown's team. If they take Jay Brown off that team,
it's Jaylen Brown's team.
I feel like they have a lot more troubles.
If
Do
you
I say
take
they
Jaylen
don't
Brown
win?
off
You're
that
wrong.
team, they're the Knicks.
Yeah.
He's just that nigga's just a light skinned Julius Randle. If you take Jaylen Brown off that team, I don't care. I don't care.
That was his hot take. I'm not agreeing with that.
It's not a hot take. It's 100% fact.
It's a hot take, brother.
This next one, because speaking of Maxey, Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Maxey right now are better than Steph Curry.
No. I can't agree. I
don't like Curry. That's wild.
Right, I'm gonna say I don't like Steph Curry. I never have, never will. It's always been F Steph Curry. I'm a LeBron fan. But we cannot deny that Steph Curry is still hooping. Okay, so better player. I feel like they have aspects of their game that they're better than Steph Curry. I feel like pretty much everyone's going to be better at defense
defensively
than Steph
wise.
Curry.
I think every guard is better than Curry fucking defensively.
Right. But Curry's scoring ability, Curry could give you 40 a night if he really was in his bag. And we've seen when he actually feels like he wants to play for something, i.e. Olympics, Curry is hitting over 2 people fully contested. And I think he could honestly do that at a consistent rate. Now, is
as
Curry
long
clutch?
as it's not below, like,
below like 30 minutes in the clock.
Tied. As long as they're up some.
As long as they're up some, he's still top.
It's a close game.
Top 4 in the league.
Oh yeah,
guard.
I don't think.
And I'm very biased at the guard position in the league because my top, Kyrie's in there.
I still think there's the only guard I truly think I can put over Curry right now is Luka.
I agree.
I think
Luka's a great one.
Better than Curry.
And I think the list for me goes Luka, Curry, Kyrie. That's my top 3 guards in the league. And it's crazy to say because 2 of them niggas are on the same team. But you got to think about how much they put Dallas in their backpack. Without both of them on the floor, Dallas is not where they are last year.
Oh no. No. Not at all.
Like at all.
Not at all. Where was the next one? Because this nigga was kind of. Oh yeah. This one. This one's funny because he had a LeBron like picture and all this shit. So I'm pretty sure he's hating, but I'm saying it because it's funny as hell. If Jordan doesn't get drafted to the Bulls, he's just Jalen Green. I'm not gonna say that he's.
I can't do
Jalen
that.
Green.
I can't say that. I can't say that he's just
I
Jalen Green.
just
I feel
don't
like
think
that's
he's
crazy.
his airness. Like, I don't think he'll be Michael Jordan.
I
if
don't think he
doesn't
would
get
be. Well, it's hard. Okay, here's what I'll say.
Okay.
Here's what I'll say. Michael Jordan doesn't get drafted to the Bulls. The question is, do him and Scotty still play together?
Probably not.
Because if they do not, no. I don't think he's his airness. I don't think he's the GOAT in some people's debate. Because without Scotty on the Bulls were nothing. Nothing. They had Michael Jordan, and they were still getting their ass kicked. That's why they drafted Scotty.
I will say this is that because it's gonna be the argument until somebody else I think could become on the level of these two, which I don't foresee that happening.
I don't see it happening ever.
Jordan and LeBron are like the standard for what if your organization does everything in their power to help you, you're Jordan.
Yeah.
When your organization does nothing,
you're LeBron.
You're LeBron.
Yep.
Go look at what the Bulls did for Jordan. They got him two different coaches.
They got him Scotty. They had him Steve Kerr. They had Dennis Rodman. They went out and built a team around Michael Jordan's play style. People who didn't need the ball, people who are going to do their job and get Mike the ball. For LeBron, LeBron coming to your team, you like, shit, we got LeBron. What else you need?
Like,
they get LeBron one additional star, and then they're like, oh, the rest of the team could be but. We've seen it plenty of times. LeBron goes to Miami. They get him Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. Or Dwayne Wade's already there. But they get him Chris Bosh as well. Who else is on that team that's really making noise?
I mean, I can be biased and give you like role players, but like,
I know, nigga, you're a Heat fan. That's what I'm waiting for.
Okay, like, but even with
you have Norris Cole, Mario Chalmers.
Norris Cole over Steve Kerr.
Right. You're not putting Mario Chalmers over Steve Kerr.
I'm not putting Mario Chalmers over Steve Kerr. Rashard Lewis is not better than Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman, no.
Was not better than Horace Grant or Dennis Rodman.
No.
Just shout out because he's
and
old.
This is going to be me hated.
Haslam over anybody. I don't care.
No. Oh God.
Our starting center was Joel Anthony. I don't even know who that is.
No.
So I mean, Ronnie
and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh are not equaling to Scotty and Dennis. I hate to say it, but in my eyes, I don't think they are. If we're putting those teams up against each other, no. I think Dennis out-rebounds the mess out of Chris Bosh. Love me, Chris Bosh, 2012 Heat. Woo! Because I'm a LeBron fan, but no.
Wade's still averaging 20. Jordan,
Wade, no, for sure. Wade is still getting his points. But I think it's going to be very hard for that team to score over the Bulls.
Yeah, fucking Dennis Rodman in the paint. Hell yeah.
It's a very hard for that team to score.
But I think even with Jordan's greatness, because like we saw a lot of niggas still won in his career, technically. I know when he went on his stint of 6-0.
That's the only time that niggas talk about. Because that's the only time he does good. If he not in the finals, he's bounced out with that fofo.
Niggas think Michael Jordan only played for 6 years.
Oh God, I hate it. I hate it so much. People be like, "Bro, he's 6-0, 36-0." He played more than 6 years, my brother. He played more than 6 years.
Think Jordan played from 91 to 99, and between that, after that three-peat, he went in hibernation. Now Shaq beat your ass. Remember that?
No, Shaq was doing your shit, boy.
Hitting his Shaq whooped your ass.
Right, and then you went to the Wizards and was butt.
We don't talk about that shit.
Nobody wants to talk about that, but LeBron has left plenty of teams. Started over with a team and has never been ass.
That's another hot take that someone said was he worded it weird, and I don't think it's really like a take. It's more of like a scenario or some shit, or like a discussion point. But it was the idea that they try to say that like LeBron jumped to good teams to win championships, which is inaccurate.
LeBron went to Miami.
Or
That's
that
the biggest
LeBron,
jump that he did.
what LeBron did was worse than what Kevin Durant did. And if
No,
Jordan did that, no one would see him as the GOAT.
hell
Let
no. Let's
for
take a look
for
at what these
history,
players did.
for history, because I feel like people don't understand this. I remember because I was there for the decision and all of it. Cleveland gave LeBron nothing. He was going to leave. He was going to team up with Wade. They were going to go. Niggas forget about this. First of all,
They're gonna go to Chicago.
I'm about to say they were going to go to Chicago to play with D Rose. Is what they were going to. One thing people love to not bring up is that they're bringing Carmelo with them. Melo was supposed to go to Chicago with them. And then when they didn't go to Chicago, they were supposed to go to Miami. The big three was supposed to be LeBron, Wade, and Melo. But Melo chased the bag and went to New York.
Hey,
And
fair
then they
enough.
got botched.
Better to you, OG.
We not going to talk about how y'all disrespected Bosh when he got to Miami. Y'all
Oh, yeah,
were
they
calling
was showing
him
him.
trash. Y'all say he sucked. Y'all said Bosh wasn't good at basketball. The Miami Heat, we weren't doing good.
Nah, y'all wasn't.
We
Was
weren't.
It was the 2009 to 2010 season,
I think it was
and
a 10 to
y'all
11.
had.
Oh, yeah, that was the year before he came.
Well, let me see. Let's look at the team here. Let's look at the roster. That year, the Miami Heat were 47-35, which is not terrible at all.
It's not bad, but I mean, the Celtics were still there. We're still good.
The Heat were third in the division, behind Orlando and Atlanta. Mind you, the Bobcats won 44 games that year.
The Bobcats, y'all. And some of y'all might be too young to know who the Bobcats are, but they were the
Bobcats were
laughingstock of
freaking terrible.
embarrassing.
It was hard to watch them.
Oh, it was so bad.
It was very hard to watch them.
I got it. Michael Kidd Gilchrist is one of their draft picks. But
What's it, Michael Gilchrist? Oh my
that was
God.
the number 2 pick for the Bobcats was Dale Michael Kidd Gilchrist.
It's
Man
crazy.
shot like this, y'all. He shot
It was
like
terrible.
this.
It was so terrible.
But we weren't over the hump. LeBron comes, get Wade. We keep Wade. We get Bosh. We know how that goes. Then he goes to Cleveland. He went back to Cleveland, y'all.
Cleveland's team was Kyrie Irving. End of discussion.
He went to Cleveland. And then brought them a championship. Went to LA. Y'all knew what the Lakers were. There was
The Lakers was butt. They was
the
terrible.
Lakers weren't good. You know what Durant did?
Durant went to the best damn team in the NBA.
Durant had a 3-1 lead against the Warriors and blew it. Them niggas, for context, because I guess people forget, they were supposed to go to the finals. People failed to realize that year. They were supposed to go to the finals. Up 3-1, lose the series, blamed everybody around you.
And then left.
Had the Warriors crying in the parking lot, we need you. Went to the Warriors and got mad because they loved Curry more than they loved you. So then you went to Brooklyn, did absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Not a damn thing.
Where did he force his way to after that?
Phoenix.
Where was Phoenix not, a year or two prior to that?
One of the best teams.
They were in the best
teams. Yeah, fuck out of here. I don't ever want to hear LeBron and KD compared in terms of their decision ever. If I ever hear it again, I'm flashing out.
And people fail to realize this with Jordan. Jordan couldn't go nowhere because the league hated him.
Right, nobody like you, nigga.
He had no friends.
Just stay on your bitch ass team. Yo, teammates didn't like you.
Horace Grant literally almost knocked your jaw off because you said he couldn't eat on an airplane. I promise you, I would have got arrested. I wish you would have said I can't eat. I would have
had a full course meal on that damn plane.
Homeboy said, he played bad. You don't eat. Really? Let's see you shoot a jump shot with 2 broken arms. How about that? Like, what are you talking
Let's see you play basketball crippled.
I was like, what are you talking about? Like, no. And so, where are you going to go? The Celtics? The Lakers?
They don't want you, Playboy.
The Pistons didn't want you.
That's why that nigga went to Washington when he came back.
Pistons were not going to take you, bro. I don't care. Like, everyone hated you. So it's whatever. But
He didn't have a choice.
he didn't have a choice. Next one was which I believe watching this season is so obvious, is that Jalen Hurts is not top 10
I agree.
in terms of being a quarterback. I don't think he is.
I don't agree. I agree. Sorry, I do agree because you have AJ Brown and Devontae. AJ Brown and Devontae get hurt.
Dallas
Where are
Goddard.
you? Dallas Goddard. You have Saquon Barkley in the backfield. You have weapons. Y'all are stacked as much as I hate to say this. Y'all are as stacked as the 49ers, and both of y'all are not doing the best.
I mean, look, like
Washington, to me, looks like a better team than y'all.
Washington is a better team. What? Jaden Daniels is over a lot of quarterbacks right now in terms of play.
Facts.
Shout out him because I know there was so much concern about him in the draft, but he's looking like what Caleb was supposed to look like.
Yeah. Facts.
And
for sure.
we know what Chicago did. Chicago went out and got all these. They got
all these weapons.
And when they got Keenan Allen, they got
DJ Moore the year before.
They got DJ Moore. They went out. They got a pretty
DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift, you signed him.
Gerald Everett.
Ain't doing so hot. I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator. I heard it was the offensive coordinator.
I think it is the offensive coordinator. I think a lot of people are saying that they didn't like him.
They're like he's not being like aggressive in like play calling or something.
But think about it. Look at Justin Fields, for example. Justin Fields leaves, and he had the Steelers. What?
4-1.
4-1, and just a different system. I would not say that the Steelers' offense is better than Chicago's offense whatsoever.
No, I don't think so. I do not.
And he's playing.
I do not think the Steelers have a better offense
way
on
better
paper than Chicago. Chicago has a better offense on paper.
I agree.
But I just feel like there's like maybe 12 quarterbacks we can put ahead of him right now. Yeah.
And I'm biased, of course. I'm putting Matthew up there.
You want to go from top? Lamar, Pat,
Joe, Josh,
Jaden, Kirk Cousins, Jaden Daniels.
I never put Dak up there. Fuck that nigga.
He's up there though. And Dak is above Jalen Hurts right now.
Sorry, he's not.
Baker Mayfield's playing better. Sam Darnold's playing better. Brock Purdy's playing better. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not. He's not. I can't see it.
I don't agree. I can't say that he is a top. I can't. I can't find myself to do it. I felt like last year the tush push had Jalen Hurts on its back.
Boy, they can't even do that no more.
They did it in at the last game and scored a touchdown.
I didn't.
But it's not like without Jason Kelsey, I don't think the tush push is as effective.
Their offense hasn't changed. They've been running the same offense, no new looks.
Nick Sirianni is like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But Nick is broken. Give it up.
Another hot take, which I don't think is a hot take.
Oh shit!
It's until Jerry Jones realized that he doesn't know football, the Cowboys will forever be in purgatory.
I agree.
And it was a funny thing that I saw. That Big Meech recently got released. They said Big Meech was able to build an empire, get indicted, serve a 15-year plus stints, get released, and the Cowboys still have not made it back to an NFC Championship game.
Yeah, they're not good.
Suge Knight is going to get out before they return to the damn.
Suge Knight is so crazy. Speaking of people going to jail, Glenn Big Baby Davis turned himself in yesterday
to
serve his 40 month sentence. He was doing scamming shit with the NBA insurance.
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Supposed to be like what 6 other players who are going to jail too.
So this nigga was just running around free this entire time. They never went and got him.
Yeah, pretty much. But he's gonna turn himself in for his 40 month sentence. And we'll see Big Baby Davis in 40 months.
Jesus Christ, boy.
He may have been out on like bail, and they hadn't set his
Oh, like his
sentencing
sentence
yet.
date.
Yeah.
I know Brett Favre's in legal trouble. He was on some type of. He did something because he sued Shannon Sharp over it,
Wow.
but Shannon Sharp won.
Mm.
I forgot exactly what it was,
Rough.
but I know he did. It was something really like underhanded, but I just can't remember what it was.
Type
But
mix.
with all those are the ones that I found. There was other ones that were just like
Outrageous, I'm assuming.
they were so outrageous, bro. It was like Carl Anthony Towns is a top 5 big man.
All right. On that note, after hearing that egregious take, keyword egregious, we'll catch y'all boys in the next episode. We do appreciate y'all for coming out, listen to us talk about hot takes. If you made it this far in the episode, comment something in the comments.
Comment your favorite color. Just fill it up with colors.
Favorite color,
If you
for
made it
sure.
this far, just put a random color.
You put a random color, we'll know you made it to the end.
Appreciate you for making even background noise. I pride myself on being good background noise.
Right. If you just want to hear us yap in the background, I know my auntie and baby Jay said that they listen to us sometimes on our way to school, and that is why we toned down the cussing this week, auntie. We appreciate you for tuning in.
I tried really hard.
Sometimes it slips up, but I would say we do much better than majority of the other episodes. Once again, we do appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Y'all
to all the people who take the time out their day to click on the video, even if you don't watch it.
Right, even if you don't watch it, we just appreciate the view, honestly. Thank y'all so much. Peace.